I would like to ask Mrs. Craighill and Mr. Jackson to step down to the side of the piece, and I'd also ask Dexter Benedict to come up and show us how to do what we are now very, very proud to do, and that is to unveil the statue to Judge Jackson. I'm honored and pleased to introduce the United States Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you. This is a wonderful occasion for Jamestown and for all of us who are lucky enough to be here and see the unveiling of this absolutely handsome and strong statue of Justice Jackson.
I would just like to say a word of thanks, add my word of thanks to those already given for all the people who worked to make this monument, this project, a reality. And thank you for the honor and the privilege and the challenge of being a part of this. It was a labor of love and something that was inspiring to me in the process. And again, thank you very much for that.
To create a bust for us to present here this morning. And so, Mr. Chief Justice, if you would please approach the bust. So, on behalf of the Jackson Center and the family of Robert H. Jackson, we present through you to the Supreme Court a bust of Robert H. Jackson. Thank you.
It will occupy a place of great prominence at the court, just as his portrait does. So thank you all very much.
On three, do the unveiling of the bust of Justice Jackson, which will adorn our pavilion lobby after this afternoon. 1, 2, 3.
I think you can see why we're so happy to have this as part of our collection.
And there's a discussion here about the provenance of the work and so forth.
Professor Benedict, would you like to offer just to talk to us a little bit about your process and your inspiration for doing this?
Well, I tend to work in sort of an expressionistic vein rather than trying to create a lifelike, like a Madame Tussauds wax museum where it would just be a complete reconstruction of the way the individual looked. And so it's modeled in clay, and I've left that process in part. And I think by leaving the surface a little bit loose, maybe it expresses a bit more life than if it were just a mannequin presentation. And also, with this particular pose, this is capturing, in a sense, the spirit of the original piece that's in Jamestown, the full-size 8-foot-tall figure, where he's turning and he's gesturing back to the school. It's placed on the campus of the school. Education is very important in his hand. He's holding his robe and he's gesturing back to the school. And so in this particular bust, the idea of having him turning slightly, perhaps I'd like to think, gives a sense of life to the portrait. That sense of movement is in the piece as well. So there it is.
Well, thank you. It is a beautiful piece, and I think it does all those things. And from our standpoint, being able to educate and tell people about why he mattered and why it was important, his connection to Truman, all of that is so much easier to do that with physical objects than just a panel on the wall. So we're really grateful for that.